Gorgeous ones, I'm back. For those of you who were watching before, I had this whole upside down camera. Man, embarrassingly, this cat just trots across the kitchen bench. Anyway, I'm back. I'm hoping beyond hope that the Wi-Fi is going to do its thing. Well, it's not the Wi-Fi. The stupid Wi-Fi is over there and it's still broken. I've had a man out from NBN. I've had a new modem, still not working. So I'm running on 3G and I just hope to God that it does what it's going to do. Now, seemingly either nobody is watching or I just aren't seeing the comments coming up. But you know what? I'm just going to plow on anyway because that's what I do. So, Bernadette, I can see you watching. 14 people have just popped on. Yay, hooray. So I know that I probably won't see your comments, so sad face about that. I will try and answer them afterwards if they don't seem to magically pop up. Tonight, I'm actually cooking. I'm not actually cooking, you can't really cook it. You can't call it cooking. Tonight I'm stirring up a chia pudding. So for dinner, we actually have no food. We have got some food, but nothing that I could sort of actually put together as something I could honestly call cooking. And tonight I have leftover lamb dump in a pot. So on the back of my fabulous, the fabulous dump in a pot session from last week, I did, and I'll give you an idea, I did a lamb dump in the pot and basically got a 2 kilo roast shoulder of lamb, dumped that in the pot, flung in the chopped onions, flung in about probably 50 mils of water just on the bottom, and 2 packets of Mingle curry in a hurry. Put the lid on. 4 hours later, when I was supposed to be having dinner, it wasn't ready. So I just let it go all night. And it was beautiful, and it became that pull it apart, melt it, fall off the bone. And it had all that nourishment from the bone that had come out because the bone was it just sort of fell out of the lamb. And so all the marrow and the collagen was just enriched in this beautiful dish. So I just plucked out the bones and flung them away, added in some veggies and a couple of tins of coconut cream. So, and then that was it. It was a beautiful lamb vegetable curry, all done. It's currently sitting still in the kids call it dog food. They're so rude, my children, because it's currently sitting in the pot and it's kind of got, it's gelatinized from all the bone marrow. And so, as I scoop it out, they go, "Oh God, Mum, I can't believe you're eating dog food." So it would well and truly fit the bill of Dr. Mary's ugly food. I will post a picture of it for you later. But tonight what I'm going to just whip together is a couple of variations on the chia pudding theme. So chia pudding, I know that most of you know, and it is super basic to cook, but amazingly, it took me ages because I thought there must be some magic to it, but there's not. It's simply a matter of putting some liquid with some chia seeds. Now I'm just going to grab a spoon because I've realised I don't have one of those. And I've got a couple of variations on the chia theme, so a couple of spoons and a couple of ways that you can prepare it that might be easy for you. So the first one is just going to be some yogurt. Now this happens to be, there's a few yogurts that I like. This is the Tamar Valley brand and it's got 2 things in it, milk and culture. That's it, that's all yogurt is, it's milk. Oh, I'm back, yay. I don't know if I was on all that time. You heard that, that was a wretched cat. Well, you missed a very exciting time. I was scooping yogurt out of the tin. So here I have, I'm just going to angle this camera a little bit so that you can see it. That's better. You don't get to see my head, but you get to see what I'm cooking. Just get the light right. So this is just 500 mils of Greek yogurt, like simple, so it can't be any easier. Now, if I had some cream, I would actually add that in. So yes, okay people, the internet here is rubbish and I'm sorry it's freezing, but hopefully it's back to life now. So if I had some cream, I would add in maybe 150 mils of cream. So I've got 500 mils of yogurt. And then the key for this is that for every 250 mils of liquid or liquid stuff, you add in 1/3 of a cup of chia. Now, 1/3 of a cup is about 80 mils, which is great given I haven't got out my cups. Hang on. Oh, I just love it. My drawer's like the room of requirement, you know, in Harry Potter, where you go, I wonder what I need in here. Oh, here's 1/3 of a cup. So literally, to make a chia pudding, you literally just, I'm going to use the black ones for this one, and it doesn't make any difference. But what's so good about chia is that it soaks up the liquid and makes it solid. Now, interestingly, in fact, that's 500 mils, so that's 2/3 of a cup. Now, as I look at this, okay, so I just stir that in. It's actually pretty solid. And what happens is the chia seeds swell up and take on a bit more liquid. So I'm going to pour a little, here's some liquid. Look at me being organised. I'm going to pour some liquid in there. So just to make it a little bit mushier, so that then there's actually something for these to swell up in. Some people don't like the texture of chia. I really do when it's all swollen. It's that sort of little bit like caviar. Just that slightly plump, squishy texture, which I like. If you don't like the taste of chia, the texture of the little balls, you can grind it up and put it through, and it gives you exactly the same health benefits. So, I know you can't see me, I'm doing this squash down here so you can see the dish. So the health, I'm back. I'm going to put in lemon. I know this is a rubbish night tonight. I'm really sorry about all the freezing of this thing. We can all write to Telstra and blame them because it's totally their fault. I think I'll come back when it's finished. Yes, do that, Lynn, because it is very, very annoying. It's very annoying, I understand. So basically, yogurt's already tangy, but I love adding some lemon into it. So basically, it turns into this beautiful lemon yogurt tangy chia pudding. And I reckon, again, just looking at the texture, just going to try and see if you can, so it's still reasonably solid, like that's not at all runny, and I would actually like it a bit runnier so that the chia's got something to soak up. So, and you know what, you can just leave it in a bowl like this, or you can do what I'm going to do next, which is actually decant it into some little jars like this. So you can do whatever you like. You can let it set and then just dump it into your bowl. But because I want to use this bowl again for my next round of chia, I'm going to show you what I would do next. Oh, Telstra. So, you darlings, you don't want to know. I mean, I know you probably know a lot of my week. I talked about it last week. I've got the NBN. Spending all this time on the Telstra, on the phone today. I actually got onto a person today. That was a miracle. You know, the new modem was supposed to be the be-all and end-all, and the new modem works exactly the same as the old modem, i.e. not the old modem wasn't broken. So now I've got a new person coming out to somehow fix up this glorious internet. So the summary is this. I reckon I've done 500 mils of yogurt. I've done about 150 mils of water. I've added in half a lemon, and I've added 2/3 of a cup of chia seeds. And now I'm just going to decant it into these little babies. And, oops. And you put a lid on, and then they're in the fridge ready to go. So these are like lemon yogurt chia puddings, which are really quite yummy. Don't look at that. Sloppage. And then the other way you can do this that I'm going to show you is coconut cream. So again, coconut cream works really well. It's got lots of lovely good fats in it, but it's actually it's not sweet. And for a lot of people, they don't tolerate the taste of just the coconut. So again, you can sweeten it if you want to with sweetener, or you can add something like vanilla. Vanilla is quite a good way to sweeten stuff. Now, I've got no idea how much are in each of these, but I'm thinking, what would I want if I was having it for breakfast? Probably about that much. If I was on a cooking show, I'd have somebody else who was doing this, and I'd just present it to you you know, as a sort of fait accompli. In fact, I reckon I'm going to get one more jar down. And just finish this off with this. So these will sit in there in the fridge. Now to get them really soft, they have to sit in there for about 6 hours. So they'll be perfect for the morning. And look, yogurt, you know, yogurt lasts forever. So they will easily last a week if you don't want to have breakfast every day. Now the benefits of chia, okay, omega-3. So omega-3 we know comes from a lot of our animal products. Fish, in particular, grass-fed meat, grass-fed chickens, and chia is another excellent source, along with some walnuts. So if you don't like fish and you don't want to supplement, then you should be eating lots of chia. Now, that is basically your yogurt lemon one. Now, what I might do is actually get a clean bowl. I was just going to use the same one. Okay, so this time round, I'm just going to make a little coconut one. So again, same deal. Now, for those of you who use this coconut, I really like this one because it's got nothing else in it. The tin is not lined with BPA. Some of the tins still have BPA in them, can you believe it? This one doesn't, and it doesn't use any bleaching. So if it looks a bit grey, that's perfectly normal. That's how coconut flesh should look. So don't feel worried that you've got some dud tin. You've got a normal one. And basically I scrape all the bits of fat off the tin because that's what I like. So if you want to know about carb counts, because I know some of you do, so that yogurt, the whole thing was 25 grams of carbs. So I've divided it into 4, so I guess it's about 6 grams of carbs for a breakfast. And then you might add on some berries or some bits of mixed nuts and granola or whatever you like. I tend not to eat breakfast, so for me that would be more likely to be a lunch or a dinner. There's nothing wrong with, you can do whatever you like, remember, there's no rules, you're the boss of you. So coconut cream, this whole jar, 270 mils, has 3 grams of protein, so not a lot of protein, 4 grams of carbs and 25 grams of fat, give or take. So 250 grams. See, it's much runnier than the yogurt. Just going to squish that fat in. And what I'm going to do is just add 250 mils. So this one will just be, before I add the chia, actually I'm going to add in the flavours. So for this one, I'm actually going to do a coconut chia pudding. So I've got some cacao powder, which I'll just put in, you know, about that much. I'm going to add a sweetener because the cacao is quite bitter. Here's one that's already open. I'll just use this one. This one is some stevia. Again, you can use whatever suits you, whatever your tastes are. I don't use a lot of it, so I don't get a lot of the aftertaste. If you use a lot, you'll get more aftertaste. Stevia is a little bitter. You can use the monk fruit one, or you can use this one that's just plain old erythritol. Whatever suits. There's no, and again, I'll put in about that much. So that was a teaspoon, a dessert spoon of cacao heaped, and about a dessert spoon of sweetener. Now I'm just going to stir those through. I hope you've all had a wonderful week so far. It was nice in Victoria. We did have yesterday off, although we're kind of out of lockdown, but we're still within a 25k radius and a lot of stuff's not on, so it was a tiny bit dud. I'm hoping that, you know, in the next few days that we will have our restrictions lifted back to normal, so that, because we're not meant to go to people, we can't go to anyone's houses, you can't have anyone over, you can meet at a cafe, but you know, it's all mask wearing and social distancing, and everyone wants you to eat outside, and it's pretty bloody cold to do that. I'm sorry I haven't got my face on. So basically, I know this is, again, not rocket science, but I'm just stirring in this cacao with the coconut milk. And again, if you want to string it out a bit, you can certainly add in a bit more water, which I'll do. I'll just add in on a nice splash. whatever that looks like, probably 50 mils. And then I'll add in my chia. So again, I don't usually measure, as you know, but I really have no idea about how much a third of a cup is. So it's that much. It's actually quite a lot. Seems quite a lot. Now, one of the things you can do, so with the yogurt, because it's a bit of a heavier product, the chia will just sit within it. But because this coconut one is a little runnier, the chia will sort of sit towards the bottom. First of all, it floats on the top like, I was about to say like pond scum, but you know that algae that floats on the top of ponds, does a bit of that. And then when it's sort of soaked in, it then just tends to sink to the bottom. So you can pop it in the fridge and then maybe in an hour, if you can be bothered, just give it a stir. And look, honestly, if you don't, it doesn't matter. It's not the end of the world. You'll work out what to do. Okay, my darlings, I'm going to keep this short tonight because of my rubbish internet. I am sorry, and it's really, it's nothing fancy. This is quite nice, I'm going to say. But I am mindful of the fact that it is easy, here I am down here, I think one of the things I'm thinking about that's good for the yogurt is getting back your fermented foods. So it's really important. Fermented foods are really good for us. They're good for our gut. What can we do to add fermented foods in? Well, certainly Greek yogurt is wonderful. You can add in apple cider vinegar, is a great fermented vinegar. If you want to, you can have a little bit of sauerkraut with your meal, just plopped on the side. Or the other thing I like to do from time to time is have some kombucha or some water kefir. Or as you know, from time to time I make milk kefir. So none of these things I'm wedded to, I must say. I don't have a routine around gut-friendly foods yet, and I probably should, but it's just something I haven't quite got my head around completely, but certainly onto it. Lovelies, I'm really sorry this has been a slightly rubbish one. Film crew, I don't have good lighting, so I don't know what they're doing. I don't have good sound, and the internet's a bit rubbish. So I think sometimes that's the idea. I'm real. This is real. Sometimes it will bugger up on us, and sometimes it won't. And that is honestly a message, I guess, on life and being resilient in the face of adversity. Some other ideas on the chia puddings. You can do another one with the coconut's really good if you're dairy-free. Coconut, you can add in cinnamon and vanilla. And if you wanted to, you could do some sugar-free maple syrup. The other thing I tend to do is, you can store it in one of these. This is my old coconut oil jar, holds 700 mils. What do you reckon? Do you reckon I can pour this in? I'm going to give it a crack. Okay, here we go. You've seen it live on telly. The crack, Lucy trying to pour something into a jar without getting it everywhere. Oh, it's going quite well so far. Well, this is cheering me up. This is like a test. You can't see, so it's probably not that exciting for you guys. Interestingly, those chia seeds have already thickened up. As you can see, it's starting to sort of plop in. So, I forgot I was going to do this. Part of the reason you can do it like this is because you then, if you want to stir it later, you just put the lid on and give it a shake. Look at that. So this, remember that quite runny coconut cream? It's already started to thicken up. So I'm actually going to pour, because I don't like it too thick. It gets all gluggy. I'm just going to pour a little bit more water into. And then that, my lovelies, and you can do a taste if you want to. Make sure you're happy with the taste. Oh, that's actually really nice. I'm very happy with that. So that's it's like a chocolate coconut chia pudding. Really good. Very happy with that. This will be good. Lemon yogurt chia pudding. Really. Bob's your uncle and your aunt and everything in between. Oh, have a wonderful day, darlings. Goodbye. I will see you next time. Bye, darlings.